Thank you, Miss Austin, for sitting down with me today so I can talk to you about my change challenge. Are you okay if I record this conversation?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So what I'm trying to do with this initiative is I'm hoping to create more school-wide consistency in Canvas, really on the student end, because I really want that to be a lot easier for our students to be able to navigate through everybody's Canvas courses, no matter what class they're in. And I'm hoping that by increasing the ease of navigation, that will also help student engagement and help them turn in their assignments more. So right now, my idea to start off with, a good just kind of like a little starting point, is what I was hoping to do, was just create a group of teacher leaders and have them kind of co-create a Canvas like minimum expectations checklist that we could give out to the teachers, and so that way that could help them follow exactly what they needed to do.
So you want them all to look the same? Like every course to look the same?
No, so we absolutely do not want the courses to look identical. We want the teachers to keep the flexibility for their courses to look like and to have the components that they need. Like an English classroom's Canvas course is going to look very different than a science classroom's Canvas course. And we don't want to take away their autonomy, but what we're hoping to do is just kind of establish some things that show up in every Canvas course, like a landing page, a home page. So that way, if a student comes to my class, the first thing they're going to see is that homepage. Then if they go to your class, the first thing they're going to see is that homepage. And what I'm really hoping that does is kind of cut down on some of the cognitive load that it takes for the students to have to go to 4 different classes in a day and figure out how to navigate 4 different Canvas classes.
So like I guess what's the timeline for this?
Yeah, so this will be like a pretty long implementation. It's not just kind of like a one and done. So the first thing that we would have to start out with is we would have that initial meeting with our teacher leader group. And what we really want with those teacher leader groups is that we want that to be teachers who already have very strong Canvas courses. And we want them to kind of identify things in their courses that already exist that have promoted student navigation and student engagement. So we want to have that initial meeting with those teacher leaders, and then after that meeting, give them 30 days to kind of identify what structures and what practices they have in place already that have proven that works in their classes. And then we would come back for a second meeting with that group. And then that meeting is when we would draft kind of the first draft of the minimum expectations checklist. And then after that, at the next like department meeting, monthly department meeting, so like the next 30 days, we would have them kind of distribute that draft 1 to the teachers in their department, and we would see, what feedback the teachers had, any concerns that they had, and then at our next staff meeting, we'd kind of be able to talk more about this initiative with the teachers. But the implementation total timeline to begin with would be about a semester long.
Okay. I guess my hesitation is like how do we start? Like how is this going to roll out? Like who's vetting these? Like who's going to go through every Canvas course and make sure that they look what they're supposed to have?
And so I don't want it to be like an evaluative process for the teachers. I don't want them to feel like they're being graded on their Canvas courses. So really I want to frame it more not as we're going in and checking your Canvas courses, but like really explain to them the idea of the cognitive load, and then I will be able to have office hours to help them kind of make those changes if they want to schedule a meeting with me. Also, they can do that through like the link that I have that takes them to my Google Calendar. They can sign up for a one-on-one meeting with me, or even if they felt more comfortable with their teacher, whatever teacher leader like represents their department. And so again, we don't want it to feel evaluative at all. We really just want that to be, take that cognitive load off and really help enhance their Canvas courses.
So would it be like a requirement for them?
We would, yeah. And so that's where we would kind of need like admin support a lot with that. Is we would want y'all to say like, this is an initiative that we support. But again, don't ever want it to feel like they're being evaluated on it, which that is where I will need help, in the future, is just kind of saying, kind of helping, backing me up and promoting that this would be good, for student engagement, and how like we're hoping to increase the amount of like assignments that students are submitting, especially our like EC and our ML students who already, it's a little bit harder for them to find assignments in Canvas, and they need even more support. So this would be one of those things that could help them, all of our students, but especially those subgroups of students.
So how does this work with like when we have teacher turnover? Like every time we have an initiative, I mean, I guess how is it gonna last?
So this is something, since we already have that existing Canvas PD course for our teachers, this is definitely something that I plan to put in there and really make it kind of part of our onboarding process as well. And the great thing about this is if we can get everyone's Canvas courses kind of, similar and following these minimum expectations, when we have a new teacher that comes in, the Canvas course that they will receive when they come in, it will already have those expectations met, right? So that way it's not something that we're having to retrain every single time on.
Okay. That was like kind of my biggest concern is just the follow through and like what do you do when a teacher doesn't? So it'd be more of an admin role.
Right. And I think that like if we see that we have a teacher that's just like really not doing it, I think then I would just have to take that initiative to talk to them one-on-one and just see like what's their biggest pushback and what's their biggest issue that they're having with it. Like, is it they're struggling to how to do it or the why to do it, and really just try to have that conversation with them.
Yeah, because I think some of our teachers would love that, and then some teachers would, they're set in ways and they don't want to change it.
For sure.
So that was kind of my hesitation of how is this really going to work.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good plan.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.